Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw, I want to draw a graph of time after birth and average tail size. So here's what you need to do. First thing we need to do is we need to click on this little box underneath FX, and you go to edit and you press copy. We've now copied this whole table. We're going to open up a new sheet, so we go down to this little cross down here called add sheet, and that opens up a blank sheet. We go to this little box under FX again, we go to edit and we go to paste. Okay, that will paste in the table again. Okay, what we now need to do is we now need to create a new column, column F, with average tail size again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this average tail size, this cell E1. A little blue box comes along. I'm going to hold that and drag it across. Now as you can see, column F is too narrow, so I'm going to click on column F and just make it a little bit wider. Okay. Next thing I need to do is I need to actually type these numbers here into this column. I actually need to type them in. So 20, 36, 56, 80, 108, 142, 179, 221, 267, 317, 372, 431. Okay, the next thing I need to do is I need to get rid of columns B, C, D and D. So I'm going to highlight all four of those columns. I'm going to go to edit, and it says here delete columns B to E, so I delete them. Okay, so all I've now got is time after birth in days, average tail size in millimeters. I'm going to highlight all that information, so I just highlight it all, and I'm going to go to this little button up here which is called insert chart. Click on that. Now what I need to do is I need to decide what sort of chart I want to do. There's various options, but if I go to this charts here, the one that we are looking for is the one called scatter. So we click on that and we click on this first one, and as you can see, we've now started to build a little chart. It's not exactly the way I want it, so what I need to do is I need to change a few things. I need to label the axes, get a new title and so on. So to do that, I go to customize, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the chart title. So in the title I will delete that, and I will now call this Euro Kangaroo tail length. Okay, and as you can see, the title is automatically changed. This little part of the graph over here, really don't need that. That's called the legend, as you can see is down here. I'm actually going to get rid of that, so I'm going to click on that drop down box and go to none. Okay, the other things that I need to do is I obviously need to work on the axis. So I'm going to look first of all at the horizontal axis. I first of all need to give it a title. So this is the independent variable, which is the one time after birth, and it's measured in days. Oh, make sure you get the bracket correct there. Time after birth in days, and minimum I'm going to go from 0, and that goes up to 240. That's perfect. Okay. The next thing I need to do is I need to do the y-axis. So at axis here on the drop down box I can pick left vertical, and once again I need to give this one a title, and this is tail length, which is measured in millimeters. And once again we're going to start at 0. We don't need to put in a max, and that'll be fine. There you go, tail length millimeters. Okay, we're going to move down. Okay, if you want to change some of the grid lines, these by the way are the grid lines, these sort of faint lines. If you change them, let's move to 10, you get a value like something like that. Okay, I think I quite like that. I'm going to go back up to the horizontal one, and I'm going to change the grid lines. I'm going to put in a few more grid lines there. I'm going to go to 10. Yeah, it just sort of gives us more grid lines. It might be useful for that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is at the very bottom, trend line. I'm going to click on the drop down box and click on the polynomial, and as you can see, it now draws a nice smooth curve. You can change the color, you can play around with that a little bit. It changes it to red. You can make the dots a little bit bigger if you want. I think that's too much. Make them smaller if you want. It's up to you. I'm going to quite like red and I quite like small dots. That's fine. Okay, and that is pretty much it. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to insert. Okay, and that's given me the graph. If I go to this little box up here, okay, I can save the image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the image. Okay, and it opens up as a little sort of picture. If you look down here, I open that up, and obviously what I can now do is I can print that. Okay, if you want, I can copy it, open up a Word document. You can paste it. Various things you can do there, but basically what you've now got, don't want to save that. What you've now got is you have the graph drawn, and that is it.